morning, YouTube. I am trying to get everything set up. I did not want to be late because we are in for another treat today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Trying to make sure that don't move, that you guys got a good view. Yes, I could go ahead and mix my tea. I was over there at Nisi's live. And of course, she goes on. She is Godfidence. She goes on at 8 o'clock in the morning. And some of us are morning people. Good morning, Tumbelina. I think Tumbelina is a morning person too, because whenever I go live on Saturday mornings, Tumbelina always pops up. She's like one of the first ones to pop in. Hi there, my beautiful sister. It is so good to see you. Blessings on blessings to you and your family. So glad to have you. BRB making the tea. I'm making my tea right now. Okay, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I was gonna do some coffee, but I just really I'm trying to get away from the coffee, and coffee's so addictive. It is so addictive. And I have an obsession with my teeth. So I'm really trying um to stop drinking coffee because it stains my teeth. And but yeah. So go ahead, make your tea. I am having peppermint tea this morning, green tea. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in. That's so weird. My thing shows that there's like two people in here. And yeah, but I don't know. It's always weird. Good morning, mommy. Hey, happy weekend, everyone. Thumbs up. That's right. Good morning, mommy Gay. How are you? How are you doing? So good to see you. Savannah, it's so good to have you. Come on in. Come on in, guys. We have a great topic. We talking about boundaries part 2 this time and what that looks like. So come on in. I'm not going to get started until everybody is in. Hello. Hello, hello, C4. Oh, you're back. Hey, hey there, King. I see you. Supposed to be washing the truck. Peace be with you, my friend. Yes. Oh, it's so good to have you here. I'm so glad you came back, though. Oh my God, I got a note to self. Let me write that down so I could remember. Because it's hard. I don't know if you guys have this issue when you leave, trying to remember everyone that was here and then looking up their channels. I know there's a way that you could go back and do it. I am still learning YouTube, so I haven't figured that out yet, but I will. So right now I'm just gonna write it down, okay? Because I want to check my friend out. Yes. And I don't know if your name is Guy Guria. It's Guria. I keep saying C4 because it's just really easier, but I think it's Guria. I could be wrong. I don't want to mess your name up. I don't want to mess your name up. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, you West DT34. I'm just gonna say DT344. Welcome in. Good morning. I feel like my camera is a little fuzzy, but it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Blessings to you guys. I'm so glad that you guys made it this Saturday morning. We have a great topic. Okay, we are going to be talking about boundaries part 2. Last week we talked about boundaries and how being setting boundaries can go ahead and ignite you automatically becoming the villain. Okay, this time we're going to be talking about boundaries but differently. What does it look like differently? So yes, I want y'all to grab y'all coffee, y'all tea. If it's 8, 9 o'clock, some wine, wherever you are, and come and join us, okay? Because I love to have conversation when there's people conversing back so that we can learn from each other and grow from each other. Yes, rigid vibrations. Trolls are a part of the ecosystem. They add to your algorithm. I don't really too worry about the trolls, honestly. It is what it is. Thank God I have not fully I haven't really received much trolls. I've received a few, but I had to, I'm blind in the one eye, so I'm really trying to read all the comments. I have to get really close. But I don't really worry about the trolls too much. It is what it is. I feel like trolls are just miserable, to be behind a keyboard and feel, so, because honestly, we all know that if we were in public in real time, that some of the things that they say online will not be said face to face. So it is what it is. Because it's early and you're not dancing. Okay. All right. Okay. Don't understand that, but we're going to let you ride. But come on in, everyone. Come on in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so grateful that you guys are showing up. Mommy, how is the rebuilding in Jamaica going? How is that going? How is that going? King, are you still out there washing the truck? Yes, welcome in. Hi from Ethiopia. Jigga Jigga, Ethiopia. Welcome in. Kendra, this is your first time here. It's so good to see you. Pink Queen supporter, welcome in, everyone. Change of plans. Oh, okay, no problem. No problem. But yes, Pink Queen supporter, welcome in. It's your first time being here. Glad to have you. My name is Jolia. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, if you check out my content and you like my videos, please feel free to subscribe. Today is going to be another great topic. Okay, last week we discussed boundaries and how sometimes setting boundaries can make you the villain, whether it's be with friends, family, whoever. Okay, once you start setting boundaries for yourself, sometimes people can start to look at you like, yeah, you're a problem, right? So we talked about that last week. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. All right. But this week we are going to talk about boundaries, but what it looks like differently. And I'm going to add the other part when everyone comes in. Good morning. Nisi, you made it. Look at you on time. Hello, my darling. Look at you. Savannah supported. Savannah changed her name to, okay, gotcha. Savannah changed her name. Allison, good morning. Good morning. Hey there. I will catch the replay currently at CPR class. But go ahead, girl. Go ahead. We need you to get that training. Okay, go ahead. All right. I subscribe. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kendra. I'm saying your name wrong. It's Kadira. It looks like Kadira. Yes, I think it's Kadira, but thank you so much. I appreciate you. Casey's in the house. Hey, Casey. Hey, Casey. Hey. Oh, my sister made it this morning. Good morning. Good morning. So good to see you, beautiful. So good to see you. Good morning. Oh, good morning. Hey, Nisi, you brought all your peoples over this morning, huh? You brought all your peoples over this. Mighty Sue, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this channel. And if it resonate with you in any way, feel free to join in conversation wise, because I love a good conversation. Y'all know I love a good conversation. And I love when you guys input, we converse together. So yes, Pink Queen supporter says, do you like my profile picture? Pink Queen, you know I'm blind. Savannah, you know I'm blind in one eye. Now, I can't see that profile picture from here. Hold on. I'm going to have to click on it afterwards, Savannah, and look and see what the profile picture is. It looks kind of animated or a doll. Yeah, I'll look at it afterwards. But yes, I'm here getting ready for an event, but we'll be here until. Okay, Casey, go ahead now. Of course, I'll catch you tonight. If you guys have not connected with some of these people in the chat, I'll definitely go through it. Casey, Inspirational Tales, Godfidence, who you'll hear me say Nisi. You'll hear me say certain names, Miss Gay, which is, I think her channel is actually Miss Gay. Allison, I think Allison channel is actually Allison. Yes. Yep, Miss Gay is actually Miss Gay. Yes. So you'll hear me say certain names. I'm just trying to let y'all know who I'm talking about. Rel, Nisi, I thank you. I thank you. Hi, Red Love. I just met Rel this morning. She says she Bayesian. She Bayesian. Oh, my Caribbean people in the house. Frank is here from Nisi's live. Oh my God, Nisi, thank you. Hi, I'm back, Tumbelina. What kind of tea did you make, Tumbelina? It does look like a doll. I was trying to see, but as I said, if y'all, for those of you guys that are new here, I lost my eye at 6 years old. I am blind in the right eye. I lost it while I was living in Jamaica. I was horse playing, and has horse playing go. Your mama and your daddy tell you don't play with stick. You play with stick. What happened? You poke out one of your eye, and that's exactly what happened. So I did lose one of my eye, and I am blind in that right eye. I have been this way for a long time. Okay, I have learned to adapt. I thank God for the blind eye, for the one eye, because it has guided my career choices. I've been in vision field for 28 years. And I always tell people this eye don't stop me from doing nothing in life. I know how to drive just like the next person. I'm gonna cut you off just like the next person. I know, I mean, like the hardest thing I tell people that I had to do was learn how to shoot and how to make a right turn, okay? And trust me, I can shoot and I can make those right turns. So, yes, so just to give you a little background of what you're seeing, who you're seeing, okay, I created this channel because it's called Jolia Legacy, J-A Legacy. I'm from Jamaica, boop, boop, all right? And then you'll hear J-A is Jolia Alston. And so it's my legacy I'm leaving behind. I created it just because when I'm dead and gone, I want my kids and my children to have this to continue and look forward to. Okay. So, yeah, just a little backstory for the first time viewers. Okay. So, thank y'all so much for coming by. Let me catch up with the chat. Animated, it was another channel's idea. She added the profile and I added the pink. Okay, nice, Savannah. Thank you for being here. The whole crew in here. It's a vibe, Rel. It's about to be ton up. Okay, it's a vibe. We just did a raid. Did they ever? Like Nisi, like, I mean, but that's how posse show up, right? We show up. When we show up, we show out. Let's see. In the Life of Gay Blake. That's the name of In the Life of Gay Blake. I always say mommy or I say Miss Gay. Miss Gay lives in Jamaica. She is rebuilding her home right now because her home was impacted by the last hurricane. So she's in the process of rebuilding her home. If you go and you check out her channel, you will see some of the rebuilding stages that she's going through. And of course, if it touches your heart at any point, feel free to support, okay? Feel free to support. Mighty soul. Yeah, at first, no, it is what it is, though. I say, and I always say, all things work together for good for them that love the Lord. And I definitely think that this worked out for my good. You know what I mean? So, it encourages conversation about self-esteem because I meet so many people in the field, especially young kids, that really are so gorgeous and they have it's like they don't look in the mirror and see beauty, and they feel like, whatever their so society gives them that view of what beauty is, they feel like they don't see that when they look in the mirror. So I love having those conversations with kids. I have transitioned from pediatric to ophthalmology, which is an older crowd, and pediatric optometry. It was really cool because the little kids, and kids will say the darnest things. The first thing they will be like is, what happened to your eye? They'll come in for an exam and the first thing they'll be like is, what happened to your eye? But I love when they do that because then we can have that conversation and makes them aware to just be a little bit more careful. So yeah, so all things work together for good, mighty soul. We have to love him. Yes, Pink Queen saying your legacy. Hey, we love that unstoppable test. Oh, thank you. To God be all the glory. To God be all the glory. Yes, yes. All right, so everyone is here. Um, Dijon campus, where are you from? I was born and raised in Jamaica and went to high school and college in New York. And now I am here living in Georgia. Yes. Frank, big up yourself, my friend. Glad that you stopped by. Glad that you stopped by. Which parish are you from? I was from Kingston, Kingston 20. I was born in Jubilee Hospital. For those Jamaicans, y'all know what that is. Went to St. Patrick Primary School. hmm Came from Waterhouse on Binns Road. I switch up real quick, right? But anyhow, yeah, so let's get started, okay? First of all, I want to say happy birthday greetings for those that celebrated birthdays, those that are about to celebrate birthdays. Birthdays are a blessing. It's one more year to get it right, one more day to get it right, right? So we going to say happy birthday to everyone. I know that my girl Yolanda, she have videos that say it's my birthday, it's my birthday. Every day she does that, right? But her birthday actually just passed April 13th. So happy birthday to you, Yolanda, and happy birthday to everyone else that are celebrating birthday. Now, I'm going to give you a quick summary of last week, and then we're going to move into this week, okay? So last week we talked about boundaries and how when we set boundaries, how you automatically become the villain because you no longer settle for chaos. You no longer settle for, you know, you start unlearning some things, you start unlearning some behaviors, and then when you start doing that, they quickly want to drag you back to say, hey, but remember where you coming from and all this stuff. No, we haven't forgotten. It's just that we're growing from it, right? So yes, we spoke about that last week, but this week I wanted to talk about boundaries in different stages, because boundaries in different stages look different. Boundaries in marriages and dating is what I'm going to cover today, right? Because boundaries in dating and marriages look different than what it would be in boundaries when with your children. So then I'm going to cover what boundaries parenting look like, right? And then I'm going to cover so we're just going to tackle it piece by piece. All right. So, Neil says, First John 2, verse 3, we know that we have come to know him if we keep his commandments. For whosoever says, I know him, but does not do what he commands is a liar, and the truth is not in that person. Amen. Thank you for that scripture. Thank you for that scripture. Amen. Neil, so glad that you are here. Hopefully, you enjoy this live. And if you do, feel free to double tap the screen and like the live. Yes, so I made some pointers. I got my little handy dandy notebook. And last week I mentioned that if you guys are in need of prayer, just drop your name in the prayer list, because I believe iron sharpen iron. So does the countenance of a friend. And in this community, I really want to be able to say, put you before the Lord. And I know sometimes people be like, oh, I'm praying for you, but I really, really want to put you on my prayer list so that when I do go before the Lord, I can put you before him. Even if you don't put your name and you just put a hand raised, whatever, he knows you by name and number, so that we can get that covered. Okay. Yeah. So boundaries and dating. We have to start with boundaries and dating before we could go to boundaries and marriage, right? Because before you get to marriage, by then, right, it's supposed to be signed, sealed, delivered, right? So if we cover boundaries and dating, we can jump over into boundaries in marriage. Because when you date in, if you're dating intentionally, which you're supposed to date intentionally, and my girl Nisi mentioned yesterday, she was like, how do you feel comfortable? How does it feel like, comfort wise, knowing that there's so many people that's killing their husbands and their wives, taking each other out? Is there any fear that, I guess, that could be you? And it's a great question, because honestly, like, you really don't know. But the Bible do say we live by faith, right? And we use wisdom too. That's when the dating process comes in. If you're dating someone, right, you're paying attention. Okay, you're paying attention. And because a person could only wear a mask for so long before you really see who they are. When you're dating someone, I feel like that's the time for you to really be Inspector Gadget, be looking at all the signs, look at how he treats your mom. And I'm going to talk about it from a woman's perspective. Okay, I spoke to Hun about it yesterday, and I asked him if he would be okay to sit down and do like a one-on-one with the camera, because my husband is the behind the scene guy. So I asked him if he was okay sitting down doing a one-on-one with you guys, just so that he could speak from a man's perspective. Because I always say I do not have authority over a man, so I cannot speak on what a man think. I cannot speak on how a man feel. Even with my sons, I could raise them as their mother, but they need their father to raise them as their father. So I'm asked him about it, and I think he's still thinking about it, because I don't know if you remember when I said some things I would talk to him about, and he'll be like, let me process it. He don't give me an answer right away. And us as women, like, yo, did you just hear me ask you the question? Like, you gonna give me an answer? You know? so I'm waiting for him to process it and get back to me. But I would love, if he do decide to do that, that would be a great live just for you guys to ask him some questions about marriages, how comfortable, if his fears, whatever questions you guys have. But for me, I could respond as a female and let you know that when I was dating, I dated intentionally. And I believe there's different stages of dating, right? I believe when you're young, you just young and you learning. And then as you get older, of course, as you change, as your mentality change, and if you are saved and you start walking in Christ, then you start to look at things from a biblical perspective. Okay, so now when I was younger, it was like, if you have money, right? Us, I mean, we need security. I mean, at least I did. It was like, yo, if you don't got no money, you can't talk to me. Like, that was back in the day, okay? Back in the day, it was like, gotta be a little bit older, because I felt like celebrating birthdays brought wisdom, right? So I'd be like, you had to have some age to you, and you got to be a little older than me so you can have more wisdom than me to guide me. We do know that that's not true. Okay, and that's what comes with wisdom. Okay, that just because you celebrate birthday doesn't mean that you gain some wisdom. So when you're younger, your day in life look a little different than when you get a little older, right? Pause, because y'all moving in the chat, and I just know I'm gonna have to play catch up. So give me 1 second. uh um that's good. That would be great. I enjoy hearing both sides. Yeah, just to get from his perspective. Hey, Nicole. Good morning, sis. So glad to see you. Confidence brought you up yesterday, Nicole. Nisi brought you up. She said it would be good for us to do a collab, like get together and do like have both point of view discussing a topic, like certain topics. The topic that she brought up was, how is it being married, if you're fearful, like, of you, because you see all of this stuff going on about husbands killing wife killing their husbands. If there's any fear there, and how do you deal with it? So she was mentioning that you and I getting together would be really great to cover that topic also. Yeah. So Nisi brought you up yesterday. So true. Good morning, Miss Rose. Good morning, beautiful. So glad to see you. How was the funeral? I hope it went well. Of course, a funeral could go well. You could go to some funerals and just sit there. And then, as Nisi said, she was at one, just sit there, and she just was like, and then you could go to some funerals that you leave there feeling like grateful for life, feeling like you have a second chance, restoration, so hopefully everything went well last Saturday. Everyone is, Miss Gay saying greeting. Nicole is greeting everyone. Hello, chat. Okay, so I caught up. Oh, confidence. So yes. So as I said, when I was dating when I was younger, it looked a little bit different. And then I still had boundaries then. That's the thing. Although it looked a little different while I was dating younger, I still had my boundaries, right? You still had your boundaries set up, certain things that that you're just not going to be accepted of, right? Like, if you called back in the day, excuse my language, if you called me a bitch, oh, those were fighting words, okay? I don't know if y'all remember Queen Latifah when she came out with who you calling, Unity, right? Okay, back in the day, like, if you called me out a name, if I even think you was talking at me too hard, like, those were fighting words, right? So boundaries was set from back then, because like, you wasn't gonna cuss at me, okay? And if I even hear that you cussing at your sister, your mama, whoever, I'm looking at you like, you might actually do that to me. So I still paid attention, but my boundary, Unity, that's right. My boundaries look different then. So as you transition and you get wiser, because the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13, as a child, you understand as a child, right? Yes, unity. Um, the service was awesome. A good homegoing. I love that. Amen. Amen. But as a child, you understand as a child. But then as you get older, you put away childish things. So your boundaries as even children, which I'll cover later, is different from when you grow up. So yeah, my boundaries for dating was different at a younger age. Then as I got older and I got deeper in the Lord, my boundaries started to look different. So that's what prepared me also for marriage because it was a reflection for myself. I started working on myself, right? And allowing and trusting the Lord that He was going to do the rest. Now, in trusting, I wasn't naive. In trusting, I wasn't going to be I was still going to use wisdom and the spirit of discernment to know that, yo, run from that one, right? Or run from that one. So you still have a sense of um, discernment when you are going into it, even when, for some people, they always just be like, oh, just have faith, just have faith. Yes, have faith, but also you have to use wisdom, okay? Faith without works is dead. And if you walking into faith, like, okay, not put using wisdom, not putting in the work, then you're not gonna reap nothing. So with that being said, when I started dating, I was very intentional. Let me tell you a quick story, real quick. Growth as a child to a woman. Amen. Yeah, some people are comfortable with the word, with that word, but I have never been a fan and I will cut you off in the man. Okay. So I want to share something. So my husband and I, we met online, and I think I mentioned that before. We met online, and when I met him online, I honestly, it was supposed to be a joke. My girlfriends kept telling me it was time for me to start dating. It was one girlfriend in particular that was very like, oh, you need to start dating. You need to start dating. At the time, I was working 3 jobs. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. And isn't it so funny when you're good and your people's around you is like, no, you're not good. But anyhow, that's a different story. So thank you, Tumbelina. Thank you. But yeah, so um they was she said, my one girlfriend, IKEA, she said, we gonna set you up with an online profile. Let's make a dating profile. And at the time it was Zeus, okay? And Zeus was you had to pay for it to be, I think they gave you free trials or whatever. I don't remember the details. But anyhow, she sat down and made me a profile, okay? When she was done, I said, don't post that without me going over it. Okay. So I took the profile and I started reading it. And I was like, this is not, no, don't put that. Don't put that. No, I don't want that. And I said, give me this. So I took the laptop from her and I started typing what my requirements are, what I'm looking for in a person. I started putting, I literally wrote an essay and she was like, nobody's going to read all of this. Right. But I was like, being me, I want to be like, it was out there, so you seen it. Babe, did you read all of that? No, but anyhow, so I in my profile, she said after reading it, she said I was so rude. She said there's no one that is going to contact me, right? And I was like, I wasn't being rude. I said I was looking for a king because I know that I am a queen. I said, I am looking for a man that is not trying to find a belt. Okay. So if your pants is hanging below your behind, go find a belt. Don't find me. I also put, if you are chilling in the spot, okay, where parents should be, meaning you're a baby father, baby, don't find me. Okay. Um, Go be a parent. So I was like, really, even with specific, I said something about gold teeth too. That's just my preference. I don't like gold teeth. So I was like, gold teeth, not for me. And so I just was very specific in in what I wanted, what my boundaries are. If you are not a parent, if you're just, you know, don't find me. So I literally did all of that. And then my girlfriend was like, nobody's going to hit you up. You sound like a, and I was like, whatever, post. Anyhow, I got so many hits from that. It was crazy. some of them I really didn't think read it, but I did get so many hits from that. And then I saw I saw Henry. I saw Henry before he even hit me up. I saw him and I went back and I didn't leave a message or anything or send a token. It was something like I don't remember what it was. And I saw him, but I was just like, oh, he's cool, he's cute, he could put a suit on, could put a hoodie, and that's me. I like a person that is not too heavenly bound, that they're no earthly good. That was a part of it also. I said, make sure that you're not too heavenly bound, that you're not earthly good, okay? But I was like, the fact that he could put a suit on, then he could put his hoodie on, like, yeah, and he had a little country in him. I was like, yeah, okay, he cute, but I'm not gonna reach out. I kept going, right? So then the next day, the carousel, they had like a game and the carousel matched us. And in matching us, it says that we were a great match. I still didn't reach out to him. I don't care what that carousel says. Okay, I'm not reaching out to you. And then it just so happened like that same day, he reached out and messaged me. Okay, so that's how we met and we went out on a date. And it's so funny. I was living in Florida and I was living in Florida at the time. He was living in Georgia. And he was coming to Florida to meet up with his cousin. His cousin was building a house there also. And so then we linked up and we went on a date. Our first date was at Sonny's, okay, Sonny's barbecue. So we went on a date. And let me tell you, that date lasted forever because we just was talk after we ate. We still couldn't get enough of it. The date just lasted forever, okay? And that's how we met. But I say all of that to say this, right? Even in setting up my profile, I set boundaries. I had boundaries on what I wanted, what I expected. And yeah, so even if he was lying, because I went on a few dates before him, and I would sit there and I literally would be like, I'm going to pay for this and I will leave because this is not for me. Like you could tell from a vibe, right? Some vibes you sit in there and you just know, like, yeah, this is not happening. So I remember I went on a few dates, and as I said, I had 3 jobs. So dating was intentional. If I'm going on a date with you, I had to make time to go on a date with you. Okay. So I would go ahead and I would go. And if I'm sitting and I'm not vibing with you, I'm be like, this date is on me. I'm gonna pay for this. Okay. But I gotta go. This ain't working out. So I did that to a couple of people. But when I say that me and Henry vibed all day, let me go to the comments. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Because, hold on, Lord Jesus. Oh, wow, I missed a lot. Okay. Girl, this is definitely, hold on. I'm coming. I'm coming. Blessings to you, Joe. I got that Tumbelina. So that's where I left off. Hey, Alina. Alina's in the house? Did I? Oh, Tumbelina. Okay, gotcha. Godfidence says, okay. Later, dear. Love you, KC. Have a great day. Nicole saying, hey, KC. Yeah, she has an event today, Nicole. So she's not going to stay with us long. I met my husband on YouTube. Oh, Tumbelina, you met your husband on YouTube. Now that's interesting. I would love to hear more. Henry said, I did at that time. I didn't have anything else to do. He's such a jerk. Listen, I promise you, when you're not looking, because I wasn't looking and he wasn't looking, okay? He said that he was just going out with me to have something to do, okay? Such a jerk he is. Such a jerk. Morena, good morning, sis. Hey, Morena. So good to see you, hon. I definitely have been praying for you. You still didn't email me, so I know what's going on with your eyes, but we'll talk later. But it's so good to see you. Thank God for coming in. Go be a parent. That's right. I think y'all know Tanya Stevens. She has a song that was like chilling in the spot where parents should be, blah blah blah. It's old. It's like Marvin Gaye old, like cassettes old. Yeah, she have one of those one of those songs. And yeah, go be a parent. Don't come find me. You're not ready to be no husband. Everybody's saying hi. Absolutely need to be well rounded. Of course, of course. Good morning, Nicole. Everybody's talking. Wow. That's sweet, mighty. So yeah, no, it was sweet, but let me tell you, when I find out this guy was like, well, I was just trying to, I just was looking for something to do, like, what? I see the face, baby. What the face mean, baby? I love your story, sis. Thank you. I don't remember me reaching out first. Dude, you sure did reach out first. King, are you kidding me? Don't play yourself in this live. Right now, we about to have a marital conflict right now in real life, guys. You don't remember reaching out first? Do I need to? You know, I screenshot everything. I have the message. You want me to put you up? You want me to put you up? Because you did reach out first. Nicole say, "Hey, big bro." Thumbelina saying your story is lovely. Henry saying, "What's up, sis?" I'm in and out the chat trying to clean up my truck. Okay, clean up your truck, but I need you to clarify. Did you reach out first or not? Oh, one. Hold on. See, that's the woman in me, right? I'm like, I know he's joking, but I still want him to say, like, okay, I did reach out first, right? Right? That's just. Oh God. Henry was the right one. He absolutely is the right one. Yes. I did not I did not say that. You didn't say what? I need you to be here talking vocal because I'm not understanding your messages, okay? I wasn't looking. You was looking. No, you wasn't looking. Mr. Henry, well, you found a lot to do. He does, right? I need him to stay here and stay accountable for what he's saying. Don't make me join the live and get the facts straight, King. Where you at? Forget the truck. You could clean the truck later. I need you to tell me what I'm not remembering correctly, okay? I got premenopause, but my brain is still working. It remembers certain things. Guys, I need y'all to get him together. My time was intentional. Your time was intentional. You said that you just looking something to do. You was just looking something to do. Okay. Anyhow, I screenshot everything, Nisi. Okay. When we closed our profile, when we started dating and we was like, we didn't want to say we were in a relationship. So we was like, we were in a flirtationship. We gave it a flirtationship, which was a little bit under a relationship, but more than a flirt. Yeah, we because we both were like, we really wasn't looking like, so we just was like rolling with the flows, but we was really feeling each other. So we was like, well, this is not a relationship, but it's like a little bit under a relationship, but more than a flirt. So that's the name we came up with. So yes, I screenshot because when we decided to become serious, um, we actually closed out our Zoosk account and we had to tell them that we found love on from the site. So I typed up the message and say that we actually got married, and gave a testimonial as they reach out if we wanted to give a testimonial, whatever. So we did that. And I screenshot everything before I deleted that account. So Mr. Alston, I need you to come on here and let me know if you didn't message me first because I got receipts. Step right on up. That's right. That's no, don't put no cap on. Step right on up. Yes, Mighty. So call him out. Got to keep my evidence handy always, always, always. Right, Nicole, call him out. I keep screenshots too. My husband is always like, babe, stop keeping receipts. No. And I don't delete messages either. If I haven't screenshotted it, I have messages. So my Auntie Janice passed away a while back. And I still have her messages, which it's been years. Okay. I still have her messages. I don't delete nothing unless it's like spam, whatever. Like, especially if it's a serious conversation, if we're talking about money, if we're having a disagreement, I want to be like, I reached out to try to make amends. I reached out and I said, no, you said this. No, I just like to keep people accountable, right? And that's in every relationship, whether it's friendships, marriage, whatever, parent, children, I like to keep receipts. I think I just heart your profile. You think you just heart my profile? I'ma stop. Okay. I'm gonna have to pull you up, okay? Because you heart my profile. You still reached out. Did I heart your profile? Did I heart your profile? All right, but yeah, so anyhow, even in dating on setting it up online, I had my boundary as we started growing, right? And started learning, then we started making we have communications. We started talking because now we are in a flirtationship. So the boundaries in this flirtationship is going to look different than the boundaries when we were just casually going out to eat, right? And I think at this time we were still able to date other people. We were still able to have conversation with other people because we still had, we were still trying to figure it out. But we communicated that. So there was no like surprises. We knew, we were very intentional. We communicated everything on how it was going to look. So while I remember this one time Henry got mad at me because he told me he was going on a date to the movies, and I was like, okay, I'm going on a date too. His date apparently canceled, or the date fell through, whatever. And my date did not. Okay. Would you believe homeboy got mad because I was what do you call it? He said he called me and I didn't answer, or whatever, he didn't hear from me all day. And I was like, dude, I thought you was on a date and I was on a date. You know how quickly we had to sit down and recommunicate after that? But the thing is that communication, you said, oh my, oh my. Okay, but communication, whether it's between, you build boundaries with finances, you build boundaries in your dating, you build boundaries to protect you. It gives you safety, okay? Homeboy was like, hold up, I need homeboy to get home. My king, forget the truck, because if you're gonna be typing stuff, I need you to be here, okay? I need you to be here to clarify it, okay? But no, you did get mad because I went on a date, or you got mad because your date fell through, and I don't know, but you could type why you got mad. I'm home, just in the garage. Oh, you could come on the back porch, my love. But yeah, so in each stages of our dating, right, we set boundaries. And then I remember one time I sat him down because now I was catching feelings, okay? And I said to him, I said, we can't keep doing certain things, um, because I'm catching feelings. And I remember he was talking to this chick in front of me, right? And I'm sitting there and we are supposed to be watching a movie, and he was talking to this chick in front of me because that's what we communicated that was okay. It was okay until I started catching feelings, right? So he was talking to her, and I remember the girl's name too. Yeah, but anyhow, but this chick will text him every morning while we were in our flirtation shit. And she'll be like, good morning, teddy bear, or teddy poo, or my cat, oh, kind of whatever, right? And it didn't bother me at first. I remember one time she bought him like something for his birthday, and him and I enjoyed it. We did the Moet, I think it was Moet or something. She bought him like a bottle of wine or something, right? And him and I enjoyed it together. Like we popped it together, right? I had no problems until I really started catching feelings. And when I started catching feelings, I was like, oh, we need to sit down and have another conversation, because new boundaries needs to be set. And that's the thing about boundaries. Boundaries could be modified because you're never at the same stage in life, right? You're always as we said, we're always constantly growing. So our boundaries look different in every stages. Right now, I'm going through premenopause, so my boundaries is about to look real different, okay? And I'm going to communicate that with Hun. But I sat him down. I was like, listen, we can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do. I'm catching feelings, okay? And at one point that didn't bother me, but that bothers me now, okay? And he's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. Oh God. But yeah, so it's important to have conversations. The Bible said, let your yay be yay, mean what you say, and let your no be no. You can't be lukewarm when it comes on, especially when it comes on to dating. You have to be very intentional with your words. You have to mean what you say. Okay, don't give them your representative. Give them your authentic you. And guess what? If they can't handle it, that's fine. It's not you, as long as you're working on you and God is doing the work in you. Okay, he's going to send the right person to find you. Okay, because I know I was somebody's helpmate. I know what my characteristics are. I know exactly the person, the wife God was making me to be, right? And I knew that I had to have a leader, someone that was following God in order to lead me. Now, although sometimes we think we know what we want, the Lord sometimes send people and it's like, I really didn't. But it's up to you to trust. That's the when that faith comes in and say, hey, you know what? That 80-20%, oh, but he's 80%, that 20%, we could work on that. We could talk about that. We can, but don't fall in love with potentials, because potentials is the worst. Oh, he has the potential to be a good man. No, is he a good man right now? Okay. Oh, he has the potential. He could no, no. Don't fall in love with potentials. Potentials are dangerous. Okay. Let me stop for a second. Oh my God, I be missing so much. Um, I'm busy, been waiting all week to clean my truck since I washed your van already. Well, I mean, I was just saying because of the simple fact that you were apparently saying that I had some information incorrect. I wanted you to had your opportunity to clarify my information that I have correct, that you say I have incorrect. When we were first dating, I only gave him my email until I felt comfortable. Now, Miss Rose, I think they do the Instagram. Let me give you what's your Instagram, right? Now they do what's your Instagram. Miss Rose, let me tell you real quickly. When our first date, Henry lied to me. He told me he was coming to pick me up, and he told me he was going to be driving a green a green something. I'm not good with cars name, but a green something. Just say like a green Chevy or something, whatever, right? And he rolled up in a white Crown Vic, right? I knew it was him when he was rolling up, but I'm just like, and he rolled right. He said he had to make sure I was a catfish of him. You want to show up now? You want to show up now? No. No, wait.
No. I just had to make sure. I had to make sure she wasn't crazy.
No. He said he was making sure I was a catfish of him, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah, it was a green what? A
A
green.
green Chevy Caprice.
I know it was a green Chevy. Everybody say hi to my king.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yeah, so he was like, I want to make sure that y'all see me all the time. Y'all
I'm
hardly
out.
see
I
me.
gotta
That
flush
was
my
it.
truck. Yeah, this is the sneak peek. Love y'all. God bless.
No, you didn't clarify. Did you hit me up first or not? Did you hit me up first or not?
I told you I heart the screen. That's
You
all
heard
I
the
remember.
man, bah.
14
Oh,
years ago.
my bah. Talk about it's too long ago. But anyhow, so yeah, so he told me he had to make sure I was a catfish of him. So then when he saw me, he was like, "You look skinnier in the pictures. No, you look skinnier in person than you were in the pictures." And I was like, "Well, you look bigger in person than you looked in the pictures." Close the door. I can hear your echo. But yes, no. So yeah, he was like, he was. Stop bringing up old stuff. Yes, setting your boundaries. Great communication skills are key. Real. It is important because if you don't communicate your true, authentic, how you feel, where you are. Like I know I had area for growth, right? All of us had area for growth, but I wanted someone that was able to say, willing to treat me as a weaker vessel and grow with me. You know what I mean? I didn't come into this as I know it all. It was like a figuring it out for both of us together on the journey. We made sure that we communicated how we were feeling, what felt a little weird, like I don't know, I'm feeling this way, but I'm still kind of, you know what I mean? Those honest conversations was absolutely helpful for us transitioning in every part of the dating journey. Let me go ahead. Great communication skills are I read that. This is good confidence. Listen. It's just so it was a confirmation, Nisi, when you mentioned that because I had already planned on hitting on boundaries in relationships and marriages, dating and marriages. And I'm still gonna, get back to him to see if he wants to do that one on one and get into what you mentioned. But yeah, it's a just like a little, working us up into it. Yeah. Yes, make your intention known from the beginning. Exactly, Nicole. Exactly. Yeah, but I had already knew it was always gonna be you. And you trying to make up for telling me that you didn't hit me up first? You trying to I see you. I see you. Either your intent is to sin or to marry. Time is the only currency we can never get back. No time wasted. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a conversation with God, and I told him like, I said, Lord, um, if you don't want me to continue being a fornicator, you're gonna have to send me a husband. You're gonna have to send me a husband to find me. And that's real conversations, okay? Like we know what our weaknesses, especially in sin, right? You know certain things you can't be around because it will tempt you. And then, it says the temptation is not the sin, it's yielding to temptation, which is the sin, right? So for me, it was like I was yielding and I was like, Lord, I don't want to continue to yield to this, and I need you to send my husband my way. So I was having those conversations with God. And at the same time, I was having the conversations with Henry too, because he knew, I'm, as I said, before he made it comfortable that we can have those conversations. He made it comfortable. We made it comfortable to the fact that we were honest. Even if it made us feel uncomfortable, we still was able to have those hard conversations. And those hard conversations is better to be had while you're dating versus now you're married and it's like, wait, what? So have those hard conversations while you're dating. You go on a date and you just don't feel the vibe, guess what? Keep it pushing. You know what I mean? You're in the date, you're dating. So yeah. My husband knew after a few dates. My husband knew after a few dates too. We officially started, that was May. Officially he asked me to be his girl. While risking my life, by the way. I had a little video of it. It wasn't great quality because back then the phone quality wasn't as good as it was now. And his cousin had recorded it, that we were driving on 95. We was coming from church, and he was driving, and his other cousin, him and his they were he was in the front seat driving, and his other cousin was in the passenger seat, and then all of us was in the back. And he on 95, okay, and this guy was like, take the wheel. They planned this out, okay. So now Rich went ahead and grabbed the wheel, and Henry turned around and was like, all right, so I think it's officially time for us to the R word. And I'm like, what? I knew what he was trying to say, but I wanted him to say it. I want you to be intentional with what you're trying to say, okay? Don't beat around the bush. And he was like, the R word. And I'm like, huh? He's like, relationship. I'm like, huh? And then he was like, come on now, you can't have Rich driving all day, and I was like, yes, baby, yes. And then his other cousin was like, all right, seal it with the kiss, seal it with the kiss. And I went up there while he's still foot on the gas, Rich steering, and went up there and gave him a kiss. I mean, on 95, okay? That's how he asked me to be his girl. But yeah, so that was in September. And in November, wait, so we were doing the back and forth, also going back and forth from Florida to Georgia. And then after that, he was like, do I need to move to Georgia, to Florida, or do I need to move to Georgia? And I said, I don't mind. I could get a job anywhere at any time, and he had a really, really great job here. Me, I could get a really great job anywhere. So I was like, I don't mind doing a midnight train to Georgia. I'd rather live in your world. I did a Gladys night. I was like, I'd rather live in your world than live without you in mine, right? So I did. He was like, then how does that look? We had those conversations. And I was like, we was looking at houses, and then we decided to build, and that was all in that time period. And then in November he proposed. So it went by. It went quickly, but because of how we communicated, we kind of it just was like authentic. It was like, yeah, that was it. It's good to see you. Nicole saying it's good. He done pull up. Sis, like I'm scared of him. Nisi, like no. But no, pull up and did nothing more than smiled. Good morning, Miss Gay is like, good morning. She's reaching out. Everybody saying, hey, Henry. Hey, hey, hey. Mighty, hey, hey, hey. That's the most you'll see. He just makes little peak appearances, Mighty Sue. Nicole and Confidence cracking up. Marina laugh. We both figured it out together. That's it, figuring it out together. And if you feel like having those conversations is difficult, if it doesn't feel comfortable, not so much comfortable, but if it doesn't feel safe, because there were conversations that we had that wasn't comfortable, it was real, because having hard conversations sometimes is uncomfortable. But I felt safe having those conversations. You know what I mean? um so that was important. He made me feel very safe, like, so I felt like, even if, like, when I went on that date and I came back and I told him, I said I was on a date, like, and I felt safe saying that without him like spazzing on me, like, oh, or calling me out a name, because his track record, I mean, I looked at how he was with his family. He was very family oriented, is very family oriented. I see how he was with his father. He was living with his dad at the time, just because he had lost his mom, and he went back home to make sure he was with his dad. And just little things. You pay attention to little things. I saw how he was with kids, and that was very important for me, because, of course, you guys know my two boys is from previous. Okay. So that was very important to me. And of course, in vetting him, I had to vet him to make sure that he was a good fit for my boys. And up to this day, a lot of, my boys call him Pops. And a lot of people really think that he is the biological father for both my boys. But you will never tell the difference, because he stepped up, um, and he walked in that role without hesitation. Like, there were times that I questioned myself, like, nags, well, am I a good mother? Like, because he's checking me on that. But I mean, it was one of those situations that we were just very comfortable having conversations, setting boundaries from dating to flirtationship to relationship to engagement to everything. It was just good to have find safety, in that. Sis, Marley made it. Oh, hey, Marley. Oh, so good to see you. Be who you. No, no, that's not. You change your name. Marzent. Marzi, that's Marley. That's my girl. She's been rocking with me from day one, okay? From day one. Her, Casey, Inspiration, Terry Creates, and Poetic Tears, Sandra, my day ones, okay? It was another one, which was Janet, but she really doesn't do YouTube as much anymore. But yeah, yes, be real with God, because he already knows, right? I was gonna come out and be like, no, like, why are we pretending with the Lord? Like, that's some kind of delusion. If you can't set boundaries if you're delusional with yourself, right? Like, how are you setting boundaries when you're not even real with yourself? You don't even know what you really want, but you setting boundaries for somebody to respect and honor and uphold, when you don't even know exactly if that's what you want. And as I said, sometimes boundaries change as you progress. It changes, but just be real and communicate about that. Grand Rising. It's so good to see Marley. She made it. Yes, Lord. Those are really hard conversations, but needed to be talked about. It definitely needs to be talked about. So I do believe, while you're dating, getting ready for the stages of marriage, that's when you really need to have those really hard conversations. Okay, don't wait till you get married to be like, oh, I didn't know. Did you ask? Okay, because I'm not gonna be like, I didn't know. I'm gonna be like, well, you didn't disclose it, and I didn't ask, and it's coming up now, so now we have to deal with it. How are we going to sit down and deal with it? So now we're going to have a conversation about that we did not have while we were dating. And of course, there's stuff that comes up now, because, as I said, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing. So of course, those conversations have to be revisit, or if I notice that, like, as I said, I'm going through premenopause right now, so we're about to sit down and have a whole conversation. Like, look, yeah, this fan gonna have to stay on because I'm hot. I'm not remembering everything, so please don't hold it to me. You might have just said it to me, but hun, I honestly did not hear you, or I just forgot. Like, you know what I mean? And in that conversation, he could be like, is this premenopause? Maybe I could use it as a little a crutch too, right? Oh, Philly Live. Hey there. Hey, Philly Live. I must apologize. Let God be true and every man a liar, right? I said that I was going to get to your videos on Monday and go through all of it, right? Just to like catch up with your content to see who you are. And Philly Live, I apologize. I did not do that. Let me explain. I had company Monday and Tuesday, and in having company, of course, I tried to just be present, right? So I was present and absent from YouTube. So that's what it was. But I will definitely get there. But I do appreciate you coming back to visit me. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. I saw that video, sis. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for watching. If y'all haven't seen that video, I did a little sneak peek of the when he asked me to be in a relationship, and I did a sneak peek of when he asked me to when he proposed. Yeah, so you could check that. I did it on shorts though, because as I said, it was old videos, so they weren't great content. We love a risk taker. We love a risk taker. So cute. Thank you, Miss Rowe. On I-95. No, I don't know if the risk taken on I-95, but I was a little like, um, what are we doing? What are we doing? So yeah, is this a trap? Like, if I don't say yes, are you gonna go the other way? No, I didn't feel that. But yeah, it was very risky. Everybody's saying hi, Philly Live. Oh, it's so good to see you, Marley. Black love. I just love, Miss Rose. I love genuine love. I love First Corinthians 13 love. I love love when it's patient with me. I love when it's kind, when it's not easily provoked. I love. So when you're dating, please pay attention to these signs. If the person seems very easily angered, remember, don't fall in love with the potentials. If you feel like the person is impatient, you see watch. This says, by the fruits you will know them, right? Watch the fruits that they're bearing. Look if it's seeing the fruits of the spirit, right? If that person is at the drive-through and spasm because it's taking too long for the food, little things, like, watch it. You know what I mean? Like, if you spazzing and we just been here, like, it's not that serious. Like, calm down. Like, it's all right. you know but yeah, pay attention to the signs. Love your love story. Thank you. I wanted to share that with you guys. Edit, edit. Oh, welcome, welcome. Sorry for asking, but what's with your eye? It's okay. I usually get this. Everybody that's been here that rocks with me, edit, knows that I get this question all the time. Okay. Do not take offense to it. I am blind in the right eye. I lost this eye at 6 years old. This is my actual eye, but I refuse to have any other surgeries done on it to make it cosmetically look like the other one, because of the simple fact I'm comfortable. And I look in the mirror and still find myself beautiful. So no, I am blind in that eye. I only have vision in one eye. But yes, please, I'm so glad you asked. Don't feel, ask away, okay? Ask away. What's up, Philly? And Honey saying, what's up, Philly? Okay, there was deleted messages. I already know my mods is gonna be on it. I am new and sub. I thank you for subbing. I appreciate you being here. If you check out my content and you like what you see, continue on this journey with me. If you realize it's just not, it doesn't resonate with you, it's not for you, then by all means, I do understand that as well. Seeing how they are with their family is important, Philly Live. Okay, if you see a man that disrespects his mama, run. And also, if you have a man that you know that he is can set boundaries still, even with which I'm going to talk about later, not today, but I'm going to talk about boundaries with, because you have to set boundaries with your parents too, especially when you're about to get married, right? Yeah, the Bible said you leave your mother and your father and you cleave to your wife, right? Or you cleave to your husband. So, yeah, if your parents are still going to be controlling and dictating what's going on in my household, that will be a problem. So, you got to pay attention to everything, how they are with their family, how do they set those boundaries with their family. You pay attention to everything. It is important. You have to be like inspector. Yeah, you gotta have to have them spiritual eyes, and gonna have to use your physical eyes. You're gonna use your ears to listen, your eyes to see certain things, and your mouth, keep it shut so that you can, don't talk as much, but communicate to the point that you can ask the right questions. Even if it's the wrong questions, ask them. you know Ask them. Ask all the questions, because you need to cover the questions. Wow, this is an amazing story. Thank you. I'm so glad that you liked it. Oh, I love this. How long y'all been married? We've been married now for 11 years. It's going to be 11 years in August. And we've been to, is it going to be 11? Shh. It's going to be 11 years. I think it's going to be 11 years in August. It's 11 or 12. But we've been together. We've been together for, that was what, 14 years ago, 14, 15 years ago. So yes, yes, yes. I am bad at numbers, and I don't remember if I'm gonna have to do the math. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, we're gonna keep going. A real man indeed. Shout out. And there's some real ones out there. Nisi, there's some real ones out there. But you know what? There's some real ones out there thinking that there's not some real women out there too. There's some real men out there that's really looking for real women that can have conversations, that know how to articulate themselves, that know how to carry themselves in grace, right? Some real women out there that knows what it is to be a wife. Because if you know your role, right? That man out there, he's gonna work on the one that God bring you. Hopefully, has worked on himself. Okay, that both of y'all are walking in y'all roles, and it makes it easier. It doesn't make it easy, it just makes it easier. You know what I mean? So I always say, work on you as a person, work on whatever your faults are, work on whatever, that, if, as I said, I was a yeller, I needed to work on being able to communicate a little bit better without yelling at every minute, like yelling, yelling, yelling. And Henry would be like, babe, I can't do the yelling, man. I can't do the yelling. I had to work on me. You get what I'm saying? I had to work on me to be better for for myself first, and for whomever that God was going to bring my way. So yeah, there's some real men out there, and there's also us as real women out there that we just need to if we focus on working on us. Yes, this is real boundaries all the way around. All the way around. Boundaries is going to protect, give you safety. And even in your finances, you discuss that. If you in a situation and you just be like, listen, I have to go shopping at least once a week, right? Communicate that, because if that just springs on him, he's going to be like, every week you got to go shopping. No, you knew that I had to go shop. That's not me, right? I don't spend money on like clothes and stuff like that, like as much, but I will go grocery shopping, and I will go, when it comes down to food, my money is going to be spent on food, okay? Food and travels. Like he always tell me I'm not like materialistic bougie, but I'm bougie when it comes down to food and travels. Like, yeah. So the money's spent other ways. But no, it's honest. Have those conversations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do joint accounts gonna work for y'all? Or some people don't feel comfortable with joint accounts. I mean, joint account worked for us. It was one of those things that we felt like, okay, we're gonna do one account with two debit cards. Like, whatever works for you. It's just important to have the conversation. It's like, what does your boundary look like with me, of someone of the opposite sex, as a friend? That's a good conversation to have, because a lot of people, they'll hold their mouth shut, especially us Caribbean people. Wait, stop for a second. The Caribbeans, that's in the house, right? Do you remember when we was in the world and we still go to the clubs and go partying and carnival and all of that? Like, when you go carnival, everybody whining on everybody, okay? And if you wasn't from the Caribbean culture, you would not understand that, right? You would look at it like straight disrespect, like why you whining up on this dude, or why you dancing with this dude, right? But Caribbean culture, when it's carnival time and you hit the street, okay, you got your flag going and somebody come behind you and you bust a dance, you bend over, drop it, whatever, okay? That was just our culture, right? Now, Henry, not being from a Caribbean culture, was not having that crap. Like, wait, what? Nope, dance what? No, that's not gonna work for me. I don't know. That's not gonna work for me. I'm like, but it's a part of my culture. No, no, you could do that with me. You could do, you know what I mean? But having the conversation, and the conversation is not so much to give up who you are. It's just so much to tweak it to make it work for both of y'all. That compromise, Yeah. Everybody is just connecting. Jojo, that was my guest, Summers. So I apologize to Philly Live Summers because what do you call it? I told her I had guests and I was supposed to watch her videos on Monday. But girl, we wasn't watching no videos on Monday. We was having us time, okay? And a time indeed it was. But that's my girlfriend Summers, Tile Simmer. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hard conversation at the beginning while dating. Of absolutely. Going on, ooh, you did see it. Going on 11 years. Yes. So going in August will be 11 years. Yes, yes. Did you always know that you wanted marriage? I love single life, but I wouldn't mind getting married. But single life is so sweet. So I always knew that I wanted marriage, but I enjoyed being single when I was single. For me, I felt like I grew up quickly because of the fact that of how young I was when I was exposed to certain things, and so I got tired of certain things really quickly. And I feel like that's one of the things we need to identify is that um, it doesn't mean because I was ready in my 20s that you'll be ready in your 20s, you know, because of the fact that I stopped partying at 19. I've been partying in New York since I had a fake ID, okay, getting into clubs. Okay, so I was going because we was dancers. We could whine our behind off. We had a crew, and y'all gonna tell by the name of the crew that we was fresh. Okay, we had two crews. We had the Hottie Hottie crew and the Needle Eye crew. If you don't know, then you don't know. Okay, but we was the Needle Eye crew and the Hottie Hottie crew. And so we will go to these clubs and we will compete in dancing because it was like easy money. We knew we could dance. Like, we put our heels on. We had one that could bubble. We had me, the whiner. I could go down low, touch the ground, come back, all of that. Like, yes. So we knew what after Friday night, after leaving church, young people's meeting, we knew we was hitting the clubs. I know it was horrible, but the Lord was still working on us. Okay. Saturday, it was the same thing. Like even it was like so I knew at 19, I remember going to a club in Manhattan and I had just got a wash and blow dry, okay? And I went there and we was dancing and I mean it was hot in this club and literally Nisi, my blow dry was like poofing out, right? And I got annoyed. I said, I'm tired of doing this. I said, I'm tired of clubbing. And my girlfriend was like, okay, you can feel tired of clubbing after we get this money, right? And I was like, no, no, I think I'm gonna leave. And I took a taxi, a yellow cab from Manhattan to Brooklyn, okay? And that's when I gave up clubbing. I said I was done. And that's just because, but I'm saying that to say, because I did the single life, I did the clubbing, I did all of that. Like, you kind of get a chance to vet it out of your system and you know when you're ready. Like, and then for you, Nisi, you love the single life, then enjoy the single life. I don't think marriage is for everyone because the Bible let us know that it's not for everyone. Although he didn't design us to be alone, just because you're single doesn't mean that you're alone. You know what I mean? Although he designed us to be fruitful and multiply, some of us were created, okay, just for his purpose, just to be used by him, to be married to him. He said he talks about that. So I mean, the fact that you wouldn't mind, means that there's something there. It's something there. And you just gonna have to just enjoy being single right now, keep working on you. And I believe God is gonna send the right man to find you. Okay, because he that find a wife, you're not gonna go looking, but you're gonna be ready for when he do come looking, that you're ready. You're ready for it. So I always knew, because I always wanted a lot of kids. And then when I started raising my sister, I was like, I don't want no kids, right? Because then I'm raising my sister. So I was like, then I want no kids. And then that changed again, because that I wanted to be a mother. And then when I finally became a mother, like when I tell you, like my whole world changed. It was so I always knew. I always knew. I always knew. Do your due diligence before marriage, so there are no surprises after marriage. Period. Period. That when you have done your work, you have done your time. I actually did a background check on Henry. Yes, I did. Been verified, guys. If you're dating and you need to find out information, okay, and you want to check credit scores, as a woman, why not? Like, you know what I mean? Because his debt is gonna be your debt, okay? My debt is gonna be his debt. Like, no, I need, am I at the stage that I want to help you rebuild, or, like, no, as I said, yeah, been verified, guys. If you are dating and you need to find out information, if this person has ever been arrested, criminal backgrounds, how many kids they have, if they have outstanding child support, I just dropped gems. Okay? Yes. Same. Perry showed up unannounced. Man, God just be showing up for us when he said, "It's your time. It's your time. You didn't expect it, but it was for you." What? Hey, sis. Hey, Jay. You know how to double tap the screen now, sis. Double tap, double tap. So good that you joined us live. Oh my God, all of y'all are in here today. Everybody's here. Henry's saying good morning. Yes, it was so sweet. Oh, life definitely be life. And I have so many YouTube channels to catch up on. Girl, I understand. I understand. This is such a beautiful and interesting live today. It is. I felt the need to do it because as women, I want to reach our women, and I think this is part of reaching women. It's part even men, because men set boundaries too, their do's and don'ts. Like, I'm not gonna have my woman walk out here half naked. Okay, that's a boundary. You say that, like, I need you to carry yourself with some class, like, you know what I mean. I don't want you wearing lashes that you're gonna be flying away. Like, set them boundaries. If you realize that homegirl got to get her nails done every week, that's her thing, right? But you know that, so don't come and try to change that. But if that's gonna bother you, then you need to leave her alone. You can't every week. You can't be arguing about the fact that you got to get your nails done every week when you knew that she wanted to get her nails done every week. You get what I'm saying? It's like, don't don't do not do the work and then complain afterwards. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yes, it was. It's also agape love. Yes, love is it does. Come on, we are fruit inspectors, Nicole. Come on, good night. Oh, I know it's late, Tumbelina. Have a great night. Love you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Facts. Don't be dating just to have someone next to you. Come on, let's go. We too old for that. Most of us here is in our what 30s or 40s, 50s. Like, we too old for that. Like, no, mm-mm. I don't need company that bad. Bovian, I love your comment. Oh, love it, love it. Yeah, yes, you are so beautiful. Oh, thank you, Marina. Stop it. Don't make me blush. Oh God, marriage takes commitment, communication. Oh, the C's, and compassion from both partners. It does, but it's just before you get there. Philly Live. I just want us to be able to talk to our women about getting there before we get to marriage, and we are and now we're having the conversation. The conversation needs to be had before marriage. We need to talk about what commitment looks like, what communication looks like. What is your communication language? You know what I mean? If I speak to you today, do you need time to process it? You know what I mean? We need to really have those those conversations, and compassion. Are you compassionate? Are you understanding to know that I'm not there yet, but I'm working on me? I am trying, Are you going to beat me down because I'm not there yet? Or are you going to show me, treat me as the weaker vessel and be compassionate and understand that, listen, I'm trying to do better. I want to do better. You know what I mean? Having all those components and and really utilizing those conversations and taking it into note, it actually helps. We need to have them before marriage. We need to have those conversations before marriage. Sim is in the house. Hey, Sam. Hey, hon. It's so good to see you. Oh my God. I'm so glad everyone showed up. Thank you, mommy. No, listen. The world had me, the devil come to kill, steal, and destroy, and he will deceive you in a second, right? And sure enough, like I was so like I thank God for Jesus. Okay. I thank God that he chased those that he loves, right? And he didn't give up on me. He kept chasing me until I had to give in. And I thank God that I found him sooner than later, because even when I was younger and was playing church and they didn't know, well, I was very transparent about what I did, which made my testimonies always so like, like profound, like so everybody's so intrigued because I would get up at a young age. I was ordained as an evangelist, a youth evangelist. And I was also preaching. That's a different story. We'll talk about that later because, of course, I have evolved from some of those. I had to unlearn some of those traditions. But anyhow, um, and I was doing that while still clubbing. Okay. And although I had a fear for the Lord, I just kept on talking to him like, you got to work on me. You got to work on me because I love dancing. I love dancing. So when I did switch dance teams. I started doing my own dance ministry and in the church. And all because I did that dance ministry in the church, thinking it would get me from dancing on the streets, right? Like not streets. Like when I said dancing, I'm not talking stripping. I'm talking like dancing, like we go into the clubs and you battle dance, or what they say, battle rap. We battle dance, like so I mean, I just thank God that he did chase me, because he chased those that he loves, right? And I thank God for Jesus. Yes. Wow, that's beautiful. 11 years. Yes, yes. I almost forgot. I was trying to make sure I didn't say the wrong number because he'll hold me to it. But now it's the menopause brain. It's the pre-menopause brain, Mighty Sue. So he given me some grace. Um, a time for judgment. Okay, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. It is your first time here. I'm so glad that you was able to join us live today. We won't be on much longer, but because our Saturday morning live is only here for 1 hour. Okay. Question and listen. That's it, Miss Rose. Too many of us, we ask questions and don't take the time to listen. Ask all the questions, Nicole. All the questions. Awesome. Keep it burning, sis. It'll be 11 years in August. Thank you, Jay. Even Jay know, and I don't know. Jay's my sister, Juanita Austin. She's my sister-in-law. That's my husband's brother wife. That's my sister-in-law. Yes. And she actually we got married in August, and they got married in, girl, I don't know, November, I think. October, no, October, November, somewhere around there. It's October, November. It wasn't too far after that. Amen. All right. I love you that you say that, Jojo, because as women, we love to point the fingers. We absolutely do. And I say we because sometimes I do. Somebody cutting their grass. How they gonna cut my grass and I'm doing a lot? They cutting their grass and I'm doing a live. But as women, right? We tend to lead with emotion sometimes, and not looking at ourselves. So it is important for us to do a self-examination. Yes. I'm always in the grocery store. Yeah, I'll spend some money in the grocery store. I'll drop well, it was a family of six here, but now we're a family of four. Um, Big girl is moving on, and she's still here and there, but and then big boy is moving on. He's finding himself. And then so it's just the two younger ones, my 18-year-old, which he's about to leave for college, and my 11-year-old, she's about to be 12, and then my husband and I. So Grocery shopping looks a lot cheaper now. It's like around three, four, $500, which is still a lot, um, but yeah. So I'll spend money on food in a second. In a second, communication is key, Sim. Check out Sim, guys. If you guys haven't met Sim, Sim does awareness for certain like autism. She does awareness for certain disabilities. She's awesome channel. She's in London. She's in London, England. Summers, you want to go to England? I know you was talking about working on that. Maybe you can link up with Sim. Sim is such an awesome person. Check her channel out. See if you connect with her vibe. Um, whining and grinding. Everybody bubble and whining on everyone. Oh, so Dags, I'm really far out. I'm gonna catch up on the comments and then we're gonna go, okay? But yes, that was Carnival, whining and grinding, everybody bubbling on everybody. I'm really busy here and I'm hearing about you're fine, Joe. I realize too much marriages and relationships, they compete, no competition. We are married, we become one. It takes 100K and he brings 40K. That 140K in the household would use as one. Exactly, that part. Babe, if you're here, I need a charger. Sky, if you're here, I need a charger. But exactly that part, it's no competition. We're uplifting one another. We're building. But the thing is that you have to be real about it, right? You have to be real if you are strong enough to deal with that. I know some men are not strong enough to deal with a woman making more money than them, right? Some men are not strong enough if a woman is made, vice versa. You have to be real with yourself. If that's a problem for you, then don't lie about it. Just be real and know that that's not going to work for you because those insecurities is going to now trickle down into the relationship. And it's just now doing a disservice, not just for you, but for the person you're with. Yeah. We see you, gay. We see, yes. Yup. It is in the same fancy party in the fair game. That's it. That's it. Fair, real. The same. Listen, I heard you. We did turn up. And then, real quick, Submerse, while she was here, so we stayed up until around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Listen, y'all know my bedtime. My first alarm goes off at 8:30. My second alarm goes off at 9 o'clock. Tuesday, I was no good. I was seeing patients and I was forgetting codes. I was um, like I think the doctor said something to me, and I turned back around and literally didn't have a clue what he was saying. I was like, the code DM. Oh, what are you talking about? Like, I needed my rest. So I came home and then I had to go to softball practice, a softball game. Thank you, baby. They didn't have the other one. I think I could. It might be too the long. It's okay. I'm about to wrap up anyhow. But yeah, so we did have a good time. When you know, you know. I'm glad you listened to your spirit and left the club. Amen. I mean, he would definitely, it's a time and a place. And I didn't want to be disobedient and end up in a whale, the belly of a whale. Membership starts at 1 for 30 days. Been verified. Oh, been verified, right? Been verified. Hi chat. Godfidence. Listen, look up been verified if you are dating as a woman. It is important to thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Yes. It's working. It is important to know who you going on a date with, okay? And no think that we was gonna meet online and I was just gonna go on a date with you and don't know. Just do some background check. Yeah. I am 60 going on 61, but still learning. Oh, we're always learning. We're always learning. Guys, please take note. If you want to set a solid foundation, or if there's something you didn't, that's it. You take note. We learn from one another. Mommy, it does you're never too old to learn some things. You're never too old to unlearn some things because me being Jamaican and growing up in a Caribbean background, I did have to unlearn some toxic behaviors, some toxic traits that I was raised seeing as normal, you know what I mean? As acceptable. And so yeah, you're never too old to learn. And I still do therapy. I still do therapy. Yeah. Sis, not you were clubbing and preaching. I sure was. And I'm not saying it to edify the devil, to glorify him. A matter of fact, I used the wrong term. It's to edify the people that listen. He can get you all messed up to think that you are right. You okay. What you're doing is okay. You still going to church. Like, he could definitely deceive you. And if that's why we have to go back sometimes to the beginning and see how deception came through. When the enemy came, he came and attacked Eve, and he deceived Eve. Okay, so it's just certain things, and that's just because God gave Adam leadership, headship. Okay, so Adam, he gave directly what the instructions was. Then Adam went, and Adam the one that told Eve. Okay, and then even when the enemy came to the devil came, the serpent came to Eve, he came and he was like, twist the words around a little bit, like, well, no, you surely won't die if you eat from this. And you could just imagine how, it played out. Like, Adam was like, yo, don't eat from that tree. Like, you eat from it, like, you gonna die. So her understanding is of what he told, but she still knew not to do it. You know what I mean? But when he came and he's like playing these games, the enemy will deceive you to make you believe, oh, you can still go to church and you can still club. You can still go to church and you can still, it's okay. It's okay. Please. But anyhow, this was way too long. Way too long. Y'all know I only like to do my 1 hour. So with this being said, my Kimmy Kim is not on today because she is in Jamaica. So we'll be praying for my Kimmy Kim. Before I leave, I already have my prayer list going. So if you need to add anyone to that prayer list, just drop your name. Drop the name in the Marley. I already have you and your family. Morena, I already have you. Miss Gay, I already have you. But if there's anyone in the live that's here that needs prayer, it's just something, and it could be something simple, but you just want a little special reach. Just go ahead and drop your name because I got me a little book that I've been adding people's. I did my little prayer list, right? And it's just a little book, but I can add so many names in here. I've just been writing them in whatever order I find them. I just been adding everyone to it. But yes, if you know anyone that needs prayer, if you need prayer, please go ahead, because I do believe we overcome by the blood of the lamb. So we do need to go before him. I do believe that iron sharpens iron, so does the countenance of a friend. I do believe that we are our brothers and sisters keepers. So, two is better than one. Okay. So one shall chase 1,000, but two shall chase 10,000. If we all going before the Lord and touching an agreement, it definitely makes a difference. So with that being said, I love you guys. Okay, I pray that you guys have a great Saturday. Thank you so much for coming in on my Saturday morning live. Set your boundaries if you're dating. Be intentional with your words. Communicate effectively. Okay, and have patience also. You know what I mean? And understand, pay attention to them red signs. Okay, pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, use discernment. Pay attention. But yes, I love you guys. Everyone, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Have a positive one. Don't let nobody bring you down. You are beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Amen. Amen. Mighty Sue, it was so glad to all my newcomers. It was so glad having you here. Marley, I'm so glad you made it. Mighty Sue, it's so glad to have you. Real, big up yourself, my friend. So glad to have you guys. Oh my God, this was awesome. You guys made me smile. And my love, thank you so much for being and giving us a little grand, thank you for stopping in. You still didn't clarify. You say that you just hearted, but that means you reached out. But that we're gonna talk about that later. And I love you guys. You guys have a great one. And I will see you guys next week. I really cannot do more than one lives a week, okay? I can do one. My schedule don't allow me. If I can, I'm gonna try, but man, it is what it is, man. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Shout out to hubby. I love y'all. Have a great weekend. Bye. Grace and peace. Oh, I didn't do grace and peace. Until next time. My heart is all crooked. My heart is crooked. Love you, Miss Rose. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.